Hey guys, Craig here again. Another update on the M1070. Right. The next step should be 18, 19, 20, all that sort of stuff with a cab. All the way up to there, I think it is. And then placing the cab on the actual chassis. I've come to a grinding halt with this now. For the simple fact, you've got to place the windows inside of the cab at this point. Okay, so what I've actually done, I've ordered the mask set. So I'm going to leave the cab, and I've jumped ahead a little bit, and I've started on 24, which is the winches. This is really as far as I've got to here at the minute. So I've got 2 completed winches almost. But before I get onto that, let's go through the actual cab itself, what I've done to that since I last saw you. I've actually painted it and weathered it. It's got all the decals in there now. So as you can see, let's try and get some light in there for you. I've painted all the dials, which was a complete ball ache, to be perfectly honest. All the little switches are painted. The dials themselves are the decals. I cut them all out, stuck them on individually. But all the actual rocker switches, all the vents, all the handbrakes and everything, that's all paint. All the control panels on the front there, that's all paint. That's decals. The transfer lever, that's all a decal with a mixture of paint. Light switch and everything, that's all painted. The switches up in the corner there is all painted. I've weathered the seats to make them look a little bit grimy and dirty. Because this one's going to be probably Afghanistan actually. So the seat's going to be dirty from being in and out. The floor's all weathered with all sorts of stuff going on. Sand, dust, dirt, grime, with pigments and everything. Back seating, that's had the same treatment. That's got oils and everything on it as well, and dust and all sorts of grime going on. Underneath the seats, common place where you'd put your feet. If you was in the back, that's all dirty under there, dust and grime and that. Dust and grime all over the aircon unit where you'd have your feet, and some footprints up on the dashboard, up here where my thumb is. So that's pretty much as far as I've got with a cab. It's all varnished and everything, that's all good to go now. So the next part to that is putting the sides on, putting the rear on, putting the ventilation tubes on, windscreen and all that sort of stuff. So what I've actually done with this, I had a good idea. I started building it on the sprue. Same with this part here. I've cut 2 pieces off. Got the metal bars on for the handrails. Put the steps on and the photo etch on the steps. If I can zoom in, is it going to zoom in? Maybe not. No, it's not going to zoom in, but you get the gist anyway. I put the photo etch on the steps. Ready to go. Back of the cab's all done. Up to that point with the lights, grab rail, antenna mount. It's all primed on the inside, same with the doors, ready to get painted. Then I decided, I'm going to order the mask set. So that's where I'm at with the cab. Skipping forward a few steps then, and then we'll go back to the cab when we get back to that stage. I've built the winches. Now, in the kit you get some string. What you'll get is that pack there, with loads of string and cable and stuff in it. It looks a bit nasty. So what I've used for winch cable instead is number 1 picture wire, 3mm brass wire. And that has turned into this. It's got the winch cable on there now. They're fully complete, or that one's fully complete. Little chocks and that up the top. So that's pretty much what that makes. I've done the other one as well. All I've really got to do left is the chock blocks and the caging out to go on the top of that one. But in essence, that's the winches done. These little grates on the top, these little footsteps, is this. I'd be extra careful with that. If you're not very good with photo etch, like myself, you get dangerously close to snapping the legs off of these if you don't get it right. So what I did was bend the sides in first, these parts here, placed it over this picture because it's 4 scale, look, and then bent them according to the picture, and it actually fit not too bad. Okay. What I did then did was glued this grate on top of the frame, bent it over, and then glued it from the front on that one. Okay, so that's pretty much the winch. But I think that cable looks a lot better than the supplied string, because it is actually real cable. So yeah, that's where I'm at the minute. Chassis, nothing's been done to that. That's finished as per the instructions. So from here then, I've done the second winch one. I've just got the block to finish. It's onto the framework for the winches to sit on. Then it's getting all the fuel tanks, oil tanks and all that sort of stuff onto the winches themselves, and then we'll finish off the winch. Once that's done, hopefully the mask set will be here so I can crack on with the cab. So my next update on this will probably get us to this point, and then we'll go back to the cab and finishing off the exhaust and everything for that. So that's such, there's not a great deal left really. Once we've got that placed onto the chassis, we've got a couple of little pieces to go on, and then that's pretty much it, I think. Oh, we've got a couple of mud flaps to put on at the back in step 30, some clear parts, and then it's the wheels, and then it's bumper, and then that should be it done. Yeah, and then when we get on to page 28, it's the start of the trailer. Okay, so we haven't actually got a great deal to do left. This winch thing's going to be emotional though, as you can see from the instructions. There's quite a lot that you need to do on the winch alone, and a lot of it is photo etch. I'm just grateful that I didn't get the upgrade set, which everything's photo etch. But anyway, that's where I'm at. So any questions or anything, give us a shout in the comments below. Any help or advice I can give you, just ask away, and I'll give you a shout on the next update. Cheers guys, and speak to you later.